So lately I've been looking at my videos where I show my voice and all that stuff. And I realized that I've been mostly saying negative stuff about Thomas the Tank Engine. Surprisingly, the CGI era, huh? So why don't I start this video off differently, with me explaining why Thomas the Adventure Begins is easily the best Thomas film of all time. No, I am not joking with you guys. I believe this to be the best Thomas film of all time. The only two competitors that are close to it is Legend of the Lost Treasure and Blue Mountain Mystery, but we're not going to be talking about those today. Anyways, as I was going to say, I'm going to be explaining why I personally believe Thomas and Friends, The Adventure Begins is the best Thomas film of all time. Let's go. Now, well, I guess it's time for us to get on to the soundtrack of this film then. Now, the instrumental score and the vocal songs in this movie are chef's kiss in terms of Thomas the Tank Engine, of course. But you might be wondering, if I think it's a chef's kiss, do I think it's close to the original, and do I prefer it over the original? No, I don't. No, I don't. The score in here won't beat the original score, of course, but I gotta say, it's pretty good. I like how they reused the old scores from the show and reworked them into a Mattel-like style. Now, the really useful engine score, no, I do not prefer this over the original nor the Magic World version, because, I mean, come on. And now, the only one I actually think is superior to the original song is the Troubles and Trucks song, only because the end part of the song was carrying the song. But I gotta say, the soundtrack in this movie is pretty good. I like how they reworked Thomas's theme, Sir Tumblehead's theme, Gordon's theme, and Edward's theme. They even reworked the sad story of Henry, and I gotta say, I found that pretty neat. And don't even get me started on the runaway theme that they played during the chase scene in the movie. But all I gotta say, that's all I gotta say about the soundtrack, really. The songs in here are absolute bangers in terms of Thomas the Tank Engine, and the only one I actually prefer over the original one is the Troubles and Trucks song. With that out of the way, I guess I could just get started to the scene where it introduces Henry and why he's, yeah, let's just get on to Henry. Probably because he's not his old shape and he's not like how he was in the Railway series. And in my ranking video, I said I could overlook those problems, and I still can. Because if you think about it, it kind of works well with the sentence since, in the original book, it said that he was afraid of the rain, so why not make Henry actually afraid of the rain? Exactly. But other than that, I say that Henry is in this film, just We need him to keep his personality how he was in the CGI era, so we can have that scene with Thomas and Henry in the rain, which I'll get to that later. But other than that, I say that the flag. Now, what I like about this is how we get to see them interact and poke down on Thomas. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it may sound like I'm being me here, but sometimes movies need scenes like these to remind us that characters are not perfect and that they need to improve, which makes this movie and Thomas's character arc far more better. So we're going on to the next section of the video. Okay, so while we're at Tim's shed, we get to see some interaction series and the model era, and I found it neat that the movie decided to explore more that relationship with these little interactions. So after Thomas woke up the next day and get good patient trying to give what the camera, it has good music, good camera angles, and nice expressions from the characters like Henry and Edward. Now, if you guys recalled what I said in this video, probably at the beginning, I said I was going to talk about Thomas and Henry and the rain scene. And this is the honorable mention part of the section, and I'm going to mention it. I like he had one job. This scene is literally one of the best parts of the film. The runaway is easily the best runaway out of all of Thomas the Tank Engine. Nothing would ever top to this. I love everything about this scene. This scene is another example of showing Thomas's character development throughout the film, showing how far he has gotten ever since the beginning. He doesn't it sound like that he said brain?
Your brakes! Use your brakes!
Yeah, but back to the runaway scene. I love this scene with a pure burning passion right now. This is easily the best runaway scene out of Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, is there something I forgot to mention? Oh yeah, the crash. Anyway, there's a CGI Thomas is over with. Now, on to back to what I was saying about this scene. I love how Thomas earned his branch line. Unlucky Tug. I mean Unlucky Tug. I'm gonna be attacked by the fandom now. But seriously though, Unlucky Tug said this in his movie ranking video.
Like, well done, you worked on the railway for a week and you did what you were supposed to do. You get a whole branch line now.
All I have to say about this is that Thomas did not earn his branch line like that. He earned his branch line by working and saving a runaway James, which I feel like is more well-deserved and makes his branch line more justified on it being given to him. All I have to say about this is I love this scene and the runaway scene. The story should end here, right? Thomas earns his branch line. Well, not exactly. So once James comes back, he is in a movie really, truly made me feel like a kid again. This film is not just a love letter to the Thomas fans and the show and the Railway series books in general. This film is a celebration of Thomas and the fans. This film is, to me, the best Thomas film of all time. Sure, the characters are not how they are, but it's the impact that really matters. Now, did this film impacted the fandom? Well, I say that it did, because Thomas fans, adults and teens, and possibly kids, I don't know, or care, Thomas fans around the world have been impacted by this film. Literally, the Thomas the Tank Engine community not so long ago did a full collab remake of the entire film, and that is actually saying a lot. This film not only impacted the fandom, but also impacted me. Long before my old channel was terminated, I literally recreated the entire film. It looks garbage, but this film not only impacted me and the fandom, it impacted Thomas fans around the world, and I truly respect it for that. This film could have easily just been terrible, like a terrible movie special for the 70th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine, well, the Railway series, but no, they actually just cared about the fans and actually made it into something amazing and enjoyable for all of us. This movie really is the best Thomas film of all time, at least in my eyes. And I'm not making this review just to change the minds of people, but to show it. And I love this film just for that, and I don't know what else to say. It's Thomas the Frenzy Adventure Begins. Sure, it's not perfect in all the right spaces or places, but it's perfect in my eyes. And that is my review. Now, is there anything else I have to say before this video ends? You have to do a fuss first.